Hey, what's up YouTube too? Now I am going to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Alpha. The name Alpha implies top status, but the Galaxy Alpha is a bit of mixed message. It's the first Samsung Galaxy to have a metal frame around the edges. The Galaxy Note will soon join it, and it's made to be the classic model. It's also the downside with those straight metal edges like the iPhone 5s. It's designed to compete with the 4.7 iPhone 6 that ironically uses a completely new design. The Alpha, like the Sony Xperia Z3 compact, downsizes the standard size flagship, the Galaxy S5 in case, without dumping down the specs too much. Thus the Alpha has a 4.7 Super AMOLED display, the same 2.5 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 801, and 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. It has a 12MP camera that takes photos and videos that are nearly indistinguishable from the 16 megapixel GS5, and it has a fingerprint scanner embedded in the home button. Sounds lovely if you prefer a more manageable size phone and better looks than the Galaxy S5. The specs and designs are certainly above the Samsung Galaxy S5 mini, which is the 4.5 reduced spec version of the GS5. Go, what you are giving up. The Galaxy Alpha, unlike most Samsung Android Galaxy phones, has no microSD card slot. Samsung somewhat makes up for with that double the storage from the GS5. But those of you who carry extremely large video and music libraries might not like the Alpha. The back camera resolution drops, but given the same excellent features and quality as the GS5, I'm not bothered. The display is 1280 into 720 rather than 920 into 1080. Android phones 4.7 and under don't get 1080p displays, and honestly it's not terribly worthwhile to move up to full HD, and most eyes want to see the difference. The display is that widely statured and contrasty Super AMOLED that Samsung fans love, but at 720 pixels the diamond pentel matrix does cause a bit of hallowing around the text here and there. It's not easy to spot, but Android folks are obsessed with the specs and have already condemned the poor Galaxy Alpha sight unseen. We here at Mobile Tech Review have obviously not only seen the display in person, we have used it for a week, and I can tell you overall it's really lovely screen. The air blaster and the AV remote control found on the Galaxy S5 and Galaxy Note 3 is not here either, nor is the Galaxy Samsung 5's water resistance. What are you left with? A pocket and small hand-friendly Android 4.4.4 KitKat phone with the same CPU found on the big flagships, a bright and very colorful display, and a very good camera. In the US, Samsung Galaxy Alpha sells for the same $199 with a 2-year contract as the Samsung Galaxy S5 and iPhone 6. That hurts since most folks will notice the lower spec items on the Alpha and expect a lower price tag. The full retail price is $612, which is a bit lower than the $650 full retail for the 16 Galaxy S5 and iPhone 6, but at $599 or less it would attract more buyers. Coming to the design and ergonomics, from the side and front angles it's hard to notice the similarity to the iPhone 5 and 5s. Those straight Android's aluminum sides with the chamfered edges bear a strong resemblance to Apple's iPhone, but from the full frontal or rear views it's all Samsung. In fact, I have observed that at a first glance most folks haven't noticed that the metal sides are really metal rather than some more tasteful variation of the Samsung box trim. The elongated home button, big Samsung logo above the display, and curved consonants say I am a Galaxy clearly. The back is still stippled plastic, made to look somewhat like leather at first glance, given the usual glass front and plastic back. It would be wrong to call this Samsung first metal body or metal chassis phone. The metal is simply the edged material. That doesn't mean it is not an attractive phone. It's definitely the best looking Samsung phone yet. The 4.7 inches size is the sweet spot for hand and pocket comfort. The past year has been a race to make phone screens bigger, and alphabets are even going mainstream thanks to Samsung Galaxy Note and new phone 6 Plus. But For those of you who love the size and feels of the first gen Moto X and the new iPhone 6, pickings are sim. If you want a high quality smaller phone, the phone is incredibly light at 4.03 ounces and slim at 0.26s. It's small enough to use one-handed and doesn't require super-sized pockets. And coming to the display, here's the make it or break it part for many of you. Some folks would not buy anything that is not full HD 19 into 2080 anymore, but it is smartphone, tablet or TV. The fact is the phones this small don't get 1080 pixel displays because the difference would not be the visually apparent, and higher resolutions 8 into power results on the is necessarily smaller battery phone. So I don't believe Samsung ever developed a super AMOLED display that was fully HD and less than 5. At 312 ppi, just shy of the iPhone 6 Retina display 326 ppi, I don't think many folks will find the display grain or pixelated. In fact, it's quite sharp, and as with most super AMOLED displays, look best when watching videos or looking at photos. It has the usual better than sRGB color gamut, blacks and extremely high contrast that are hallmarks of super AMOLED. The performance and software through some smaller than the flash big pack, the Samsung Galaxy Alpha runs on the same 2.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core CPU with Adreno 330 graphics and 2 gigs of RAM as today's top smartphones. It thus performs the same in synthetic benchmarks including 3D tests. The phone feels fast and responsive despite the added load for Samsung's TouchWiz UI features. Some features like multi-window here can have apps running in two windows are turned off by default, likely because the screen is a bit smaller for that feature. You enable if you wish, and other Samsung staples like Smart Stay are here and were on by default our phone. The smartphone runs Android 4.4 KitKat, currently the latest version of Android. It's protected by the knob, so those of you who wish to unlock the bootloader to install custom ROMs will trip the knobs counter. The Alpha comes with the full version of Polaris Office to create, view and edit MS Office documents in both the Android web kit and Chrome web browsers. Our ATT and review unit is fitted with the usual ATT bloat software which you can disable but not install. Thanks for watching my video and subscribe for more.